How's it going, Nomad Nation? It is us, the Nomad Gamers, bringing you another episode of our lovely little podcast. Today, as you can probably, if you have eyes and you can read, see that we are doing episode 4 on the Fallout series.
We have finally moved past GTA.
Yes.
After talking about GTA 5
For 3 episodes.
we talked about... Realistically, we talked about GTA 5 for almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
It didn't even cover...
We did too.
Not really.
Well, not really, but we
really.
did.
Not really.
So you can't say not really when we really did. We didn't go in depth, but we covered the other ones.
Yeah, this game came out.
This game came out.
What we did.
Pocket.
Yeah. How do you rank the GTA series? Your opinion's wrong. Get your finger out of my damn...
Yeah, keep your finger out of my frame rate.
Your frame rate.
My frame rate. Hey, you let me talk however I talk. So,
Antenna.
now, shut it. Now we are going into the beautiful wastelands. What do you mean, eh?
I wouldn't really say it's a beautiful
wouldn't say
landscape.
beautiful.
Oh, man, every time we're introduced to a new wasteland, it's fucking beautiful.
I don't
Great.
know. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Detroit, but that's neither here nor there.
Or Chicago, Shirakistan.
No, at least they keep it clean to a certain degree, kind
I mean, it could be like San Francisco where there's feces all over the place.
We're getting off topic already.
of. No,
Yeah,
we're talking about
no.
locations for
Yeah.
potential fallout.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be too far off of a wasteland,
But
considering the waste is in the streets in San Francisco.
so what was the final Fallout to come out? Was it 76?
It's 76.
Really?
Yeah.
And that was an
2018.
abysmal game.
That was in 2018.
Yes, and it was abysmal.
18?
Yes.
18.
2018 was the last Fallout
Yes.
Wow.
game we've got.
Yes.
And it was a very mid.
Oh my God, it was-
I would see, for me, I can deal with a game launching poorly. I can deal with it. I don't like it. I hate it. Doesn't mean I'm gonna play it immediately or anything like that. Which I tried it out. I was like,
The launch
I can
is...
see the issue with the launch that I had was with the pre-order bonuses people got in real life.
The
The
launch of
canvas bag and
76.
stuff that they were supposed to be getting.
But that was
Or sorry, the like whatever the collector's edition.
yeah, but see, even that was poorly rolled out
No,
because they got
that's my
sued
point.
for it.
That's my point. That's my issue with the.
Well, that's not even my issue. I don't care.
I don't like that.
I don't care so much about the collector's issue because let's face it, collectors are going to find what they hold dear to them, because what I collect and what I hold dear to me, if we are collecting the same thing, it may not be held as dearly as one of you two. My issue with the whole rollout of 76 was every 2 minutes getting blue screen.
The rollout of 76 was absolutely revolting.
Oh, it was horrible.
There's only I can't even think of another game in recent history that launched as poorly. There are
Cyberpunk.
games that launched poorly, but not as poorly.
Cyberpunk, because they had to bring it down.
Because that game,
They at least had the balls to bring it back.
they well, not even just bring it back, but the thing is, the fact of the matter is that
No, ignoring me.
yeah, speak louder.
I said Anthem.
We don't talk about that game. And the issue with Anthem was that not that it launched poorly, it launched as a bad game. There's a big difference.
But you said
launched as
poorly. Being a bad game counts as being poorly.
In my eyes, if
No,
a game is able to
no.
be played and functions as intended,
Yes,
that is a good launch.
but just
If
a poor game.
It's just a bad game. Poor launches are like how Battlefields launch. Unplayable messes.
And that was 76.
Yeah,
All the way through.
I don't know.
But I'll
I
say
don't know
this,
which takes the
Cyberpunk-
cake though.
Cyber-
2042 or 76.
76.
76 probably
76
definitely
by
takes the cake,
far.
easily.
Yes.
2077 Cyberpunk, it launched on their old gen now, so I'll just say that the old gen consoles when they should not have been.
Yeah.
This was a game meant for PC and
Yeah.
the new gen.
Yeah.
And if you want to get into the whole business side of things with shareholders and everything like that,
I don't
pressure
want to
down
go
teams,
there. Yeah.
we can get into that. But that's not what we're here for. We're
No.
here to talk about Fallout and all its glory and all of its.
You know what?
lackluster.
Fallout was a premier franchise up to
76.
76. And some argue that Bethesda has made 76 playable.
It is.
It is playable
I will
now.
argue that
Yeah,
it's
it's playable
now.
now.
2024. The game is playable.
6 years later.
Yeah. Yeah, and
It
that's
should have been like that at the beginning.
There was.
I mean, imagine
the
making
other bad thing about 76's launch is there was a lack of content. Once you hit the once you hit the level cap,
You had the main story, and then what?
it was done.
You're done.
it was boring after that.
There was nothing to do.
You had people grinding for legendaries. The
Yep.
legendary system they had in the game was nice,
I actually like the legendary system they do have. It
but
allows
Did
it
have.
was
still.
They've
changed,
nerfed it, but
but I like the way that it functions.
Yeah.
or
mechanically.
the absolute brokenness of certain builds.
like a blooded build.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
like a
was
bloodied
horrible.
build. What do you mean it was
Oh.
horrible? It was great.
No. I don't mean it was
Oh, the
horrible
plague.
as in they did it wrong.
it was.
But if
horrible
you
as
were
an
on the receiving
overpowered.
end, it was horrible.
horrible as an overpowered.
Yes. OP'd horribly.
Oh yeah.
Horrible.
Says the guy who ran a bloody melee.
I did not run.
No.
Oh,
Why are you looking
I
at
was
me?
gonna say I did not.
No, Sir
It was
Chungus.
at first, it was a heavy weapon.
But why wouldn't you though? I mean, if it's overpowered, why
But-
wouldn't you run it
Right. Exactly.
and run the table as a god?
Well, see, the thing is, some people have integrity, honor. We are not those people.
No,
we
no,
do have integrity and honor for real life stuff, but when it comes to video games,
no.
if there is something broken in the game, I am going to use it. And if you get mad,
It's on you.
That's on you. Use
Yeah.
it.
Suck eggs, nerd.
Seriously, it's in
Yeah.
the game. I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
They gave it to us
People
for a reason.
Like the AS. Oh God, we will talk about that. But there's real quick. There's a gun that released in 2019 for Call of Duty Modern Warfare. The AS Val. You threw like a 10-round mag into DMR round mag into it, and you could shoot through walls the entire map.
Yeah, there was.
It was insane.
Yeah,
Honestly.
but Fallout 76.
But going back on top.
I mean, that's a good start for everything talking about Fallout, because 76. Sometimes I don't even want to talk about 76 because it was so bad.
I
Well-
got the game for $10.
Yeah, that was the one game that absolutely plummeted.
A year.
It was so
A
funny.
year
You have-
after launch, you can
you
pick
have
it up for like $15.
Not even that.
Oh,
It was
well.
so funny. There was.
I got screwed because I paid 60 for it.
You did pay 60 for it, and I appreciate that because I borrowed
Yeah.
that copy a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, this game's kind of fun. How much is it? No, not that fun. Not that
No.
fun. No, not that
No,
fun.
but it was so funny. I saw this meme like 4 or 5 years ago back, talking about how this GameStop got robbed. Every single game got taken.
Except for
Except for
76. Wow. That ought to tell you something.
You should pay me to steal this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or
I'm not
like,
going to jail and serving time for 76.
Or like it was so. The other thing was so funny is because when we all went digital, when we turned in our games to GameStop, I walked into GameStop. I handed him Fallout 76.
you
took
probably
one
handed it back.
No. He looked
There you go.
He opened it. He did the whole check of what you got to do. Turned around.
Here's $1.
No, he looked at me and dropped it in the trash can. He's like, we have way too many of these in stock.
We
I'm
can't get rid of them.
gonna throw it out,
Yeah, we can't get rid of them.
Yeah, nope.
and I'll give you 3 cents for it.
Yeah, ooh. Ooh.
Bethesda really screwed the pooch with that.
So let's hit the brakes for just a second, because while I could go on and I could go on and on.
Oh,
Yeah, shut up. They still work. I could go on and on about the failures of 76. I really could. 76 is not the only game in that franchise.
Right, but it's the newest one.
It might be, but it is by far their most embarrassing.
oh yeah, Fallout. Yeah.
Yeah, Fallout.
Yeah.
their most embarrassing Fallout. Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. Yeah,
The storyline there is non-existent.
But here's the other thing.
It is now.
It is now.
It is now. If
The
you
other
want to
thing-
talk about it, it is now.
The other thing you have to look at though is Fallout 76 was their first adaptation of having an MMO.
Was that the first one for Bethesda in
No.
general?
No, because they had
No,
Elder
then
Scrolls
ESO.
Online.
Okay, so
They had
now
they had
if this
the
would have been
precedent set.
if this would have been their very first attempt at it company wide, I would buy that excuse
not.
all day long.
ESO is
Exactly.
mixed reviews, but for the most part, it is making them money,
So-
so it is successful.
So this is their second attempt.
Yep.
At open world.
Not open world. MMO.
MMO.
Oh, MMO.
Open
Okay.
world is
Okay.
Because
But
Fallout 4, Fallout
It's
3,
still
open world.
it's their second attempt,
it's their second attempt at it.
and they failed it.
And they screwed the pooch miserably.
And it's not even from and I will say this, it's not even from a gameplay aspect, because the perk
The
system
gameplay was
interesting.
great.
The gunplay was
Yeah.
Fallout 4 gunplay. How do you not like that? People loved it.
Everything
Um,
about that game was still
it's-
Fallout.
It was
It
just,
still went on the same linear line as the rest of the
Yeah.
games.
but it was the things like lack of no NPCs
Oh
besides
yeah,
the robots.
Oh my god.
That was
yeah.
a crazy decision.
I can't.
Your MMO RPG that you're making
Has no NPCs.
based on your RPGs that have tons of NPCs have no human NPCs or human factions.
And here's
That was a numbskull idea.
and here's the other thing that irritated me about that game is when they finally brought NPCs out to the world.
Yep.
You had what was that?
The Raiders.
No, not the well. The
You
Raiders
had the
came with them.
settlers, you had the raiders.
So you have the
I'm trying to think of the settler,
responders.
the settlement that was down south at
Foundation.
Foundation.
the foundation, and then you had.
The raiders.
I know they were the Raiders. What was the name of their damn camp?
The camp over by the now
canyon?
space station.
yeah.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
You all know what you're talking about.
Yeah, look it up for us. My only complaint with the game is when they said they were going to launch NPCs, they really dropped the ball when they did it. Because all these settlers and all these raiders and all this crap came like that.
Yep.
No explanation on where the hell they came from, at least not at launch.
The crater.
The crater, that's it. It's been a while since I played 76 because
Yeah.
I cannot stomach
There's,
that game anymore.
there's no reason to.
No.
No.
Like there's no
No.
new story quest.
No.
I mean, you have the adventure sites like the pit, and
Well, you have the
everything like
Brotherhood
that.
of Steel quest line now.
but if you've already
Well,
done that,
yeah.
what is there to do? And you say now that was back in 22.
Yeah, they came out with new content or some upgrades, but it's nothing for me.
They're finally opening up the vaults too.
Yeah, but again,
But how many vaults can they really open before they run out of vaults?
Yeah.
And you're done with a game, pretty much. There is a set number of vaults that they can use for games.
You know,
And I believe they have used, 30 of them so far?
are we talking about just the games now? Because we kind of forgot something.
What did we forget?
Forgot about the TV show.
we are talking about.
I'm not going into that damn TV show yet.
It is part of the canon.
It is part
It
of
is
it,
part of the
but
canon.
it is. But I don't want to talk about that TV show yet because I really don't want to get pissed off.
Why?
We'll save that for next episode.
Yeah, we'll save that for later because I hate that TV
He
show.
hates it.
I
Yeah,
absolutely,
no. See,
I
that's why
absolutely hate
I'm
that
letting him
TV
cook
show.
himself into a corner right now
No,
because again we're gonna talk about it
yeah,
and he's gonna it's okay.
but either way,
Oh, wow, my
Yeah.
brain just melted.
I don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
What?
I don't like that TV show. I disliked it completely. But
Oh my god! Get this man out of the kitchen.
how many vaults are there in lore?
Like 100, 120 or something like that.
121, I think, is what it was.
How many of them are inhabited for lore?
And more like currently being used
Well, in canon, I should say,
or have been used.
have been used, and
It's like something like 40 were used,
and that
been
are viable by canon to be used in a game. 51 was used in 76. 76 was used in 76.
There's a couple used in 76.
4 had quite a few used.
122 vaults were commissioned.
Yes.
122.
Were ever commissioned, allowing them 0.01% of the population to save their lives. in the events of a nuclear holocaust.
Yes. Now my question is out of that number, because remember every one of them had an experiment going on with them, which the TV show kind of answered,
Mm-hmm.
but the video games were very vague on.
Well, if they've still only gone through, hypothetically, because we don't really know how many vaults were used. We had to comb through all the games.
We have a good idea because they in pieces of lore you have.
There's still 80 vaults out there that have
3, 4, 76, New Vegas,
1,
2. So I mean, for all of the Fallout games, you'd have to comb through them and start checking vaults off.
Yeah,
right.
And there's a lot of vaults that are just dead vaults.
Vaults that just got ended and we know got ended.
That the experiment went completely wrong. I think it was 76 where we go into one. It was that stupid instance they tried.
93. You're talking about 93.
The one with all that's
overgrown.
completely overgrown and it was way too OP and it literally wipes you out when you went in there. And I was so pissed off when we went in for that instance because let's face it, you two can agree with me on this. During that time when I was playing 76 that hard, my group was pretty daggum powerful. When it came down to the mutations, the power armor, the weapons.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that.
You're freaking annoying me.
That's why I did it when I looked at you.
But we, as powerful as we were, because we could walk in and I wouldn't say easy, because there was a lot of quests that it literally took all of us to accomplish.
Yeah.
Like the silos.
You want to say that a little louder?
Say a little louder.
I heard you.
Yeah, say it a little louder, jackass.
Skill issue.
It was not a skill issue.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Keep your distance, you'll be fine.
There was no keep.
No.
I do have to.
You'll be fine.
This doesn't happen often, especially when I say it. God's father is absolutely right. That instance was a headache.
The four of us, while the silos to launch a nuke was starting to get easier, they were still.
But the hard part
they were still challenging.
The hard part about that instance was they failed that instance.
Oh,
because
horribly!
You had you had to be a part of a group to go into that instance.
Yes,
and groups were only allowed to be 4 people.
Yeah, that was the other problem.
However, when you fought the Scorched Beast Queen, the entire lobby was able to do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So why were you able to do that with the Scorched Beast Queen? And that's incredibly hard.
Artificial difficulty.
But you
make it hard for the sake of making it hard. That's what I'm saying. Artificial difficulty.
But
but that's like also saying the same thing. You could say the same thing about Dark Souls.
We walked into that instance.
Some bosses are. People will argue that there are bosses that are just artificial difficulty because of their hitboxing and things of that nature. But again, we
walked into that instance with our best gear, arguably some of the best gear in the game. Like if you had it, or if Fireball had it.
Just let's cut to the chase.
Just chill. It was arguably the best equipment out there. We were carrying the max load of stim packs
and ammo
and everything else. I mean, we were literally
armed to the teeth,
over cucumbered, and that's over encumbered. Going in, we got our asses kicked so bad we were limping back out.
When Jay and I did it,
hold on,
sorry.
No bullshit.
When Fireball and I did it, we had pretty easy time doing it.
Oh no, you didn't.
Yeah, that's because they also toned it down.
No. I was gonna say
they burned through over 300 stim packs. They burned through over 25,000 rounds, and it took them months to accumulate.
It took us an hour to get it done.
Yeah, well, when you come in at the fucking end, when they've nerfed everything, and the hardcore gamers couldn't get through it, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
I know you're just instigating at this point.
Yeah. No.
It's almost like not
Maggie, Ray, Kitty Pie, me,
and just not touching it for a while.
What the hell was Gonzo. We walked in there
How
and
could you forget about Gonzo?
yeah, I know, but still,
I'm not
we
telling
walked in there and we got absolutely embarrassed, and it should never have been that way. Bethesda dropped the ball when it came down to, and then when they finally did fix it, you had easy, normal, and hard. Where the hell were those three at when we did it?
Huh? You guys were on easy. I don't think you knew that.
That's like they were. He's talking as if it was like a day one raid on Destiny.
Computer shut, extension cord off.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Computer shut, extension cord off.
The top result is 10 FT.
Computer stop. You see, we're having all kinds of issues around
power
here.
strip surge protector. It's $14.99.
Computer stop.
But
Yeah, but that you see, you got me so irritated. I'm starting to get a little too warm.
here's the other thing about 76.
I'm starting to be like a fireball.
Don't
be doing no Fonzie shit at me.
Waka waka.
That ain't Fonzie.
What's Fonzie Bear?
Yeah, you got confused too.
Waka waka.
Hey, that's the Fonzie I was looking at. Hey.
But
Jesus
no.
Christ.
I could not play Fallout 76 by myself because it was so boring not to play it without anybody else.
I would be for something like me. If I'm grinding up to something, I can play it by myself, no problem. Because I'm engaged.
I'm talking about after hitting that level cap.
There's nothing to do.
Exactly.
Even
No.
with people, there's still like nothing to do. You can help, like you did. You helped me level up and everything like that. But at a certain point, it's just like,
Once you hit that level cap, the only thing you could do at that point,
We'll start grinding for legendaries.
and on top of
that's another
that,
issue. They haven't increased any activity difficulty for like going back in like they have with ESO. There are multitudes of difficulties for things.
They
On top
did.
of the fact,
Here's the thing
expansions upon expansions.
They
just didn't. It was
No expansions.
Actually now in Fallout 76, depending on your level, is what your enemy type will be.
yes.
So like if
Which
you're
is
level 150 like I am,
Mhm.
you'll jump in no matter where you are in the world. Your enemies will always be the
But
same.
you see,
level.
and
Because
that's
it should have been like that from the beginning, though.
It
Because
should.
that's in every single Bethesda title.
Unless you are in a lower, unless you're with somebody that's
In a group of lower level players.
yeah. If you're in a
But
group with lower level
here's
players,
the-
then
here's the other part that they got away from that absolutely pisses me off. Look at Fallout 4.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to switch gears for a minute, but then it's going to lead back to 76. When you look at 4, the deeper you went into that city, the higher
the enemies got
the level of the
lag
enemies
got.
got.
and the lag.
Well, yeah, that too.
Unless you went on the piece playing on people, man. I'm telling
Well,
Whatever.
here's the
Shut up
thing
with your
is-
PC stuff. But hold on, Fireball. But here we go again with Out by Sanctuary, everything was low level.
Yeah.
The way it should have been.
Mhm.
And the more you pulled into the middle of the city where the end game content was at,
The end game content wasn't
The-
going to see though.
but then as you got closer down there too, that's where you ran into more death claws. That's where you ran into
That's-
more rad
To my knowledge,
sports.
that's how 76 did it. There were areas that were level.
Yeah,
And they
it was the
completely
same
got
way.
away with it. They completely did away with it. Now,
The,
like Fireball said, if you go down to Poseidon,
It's more based on your, regardless of even with N4, they have leveled areas, sure, but it's still based off of your level. If you start the game and you get to a level 150 before going to the city, you will start to meet higher tiered.
what, in
enemies.
4?
Yes.
Yes.
That's how it's
I've
always,
never seen that.
That's how it always is. In
Never
every-
seen it.
That's why
Yeah.
there's different variants of enemies.
I've never seen it.
yeah, I actually agree with Chungus on
No,
that.
because they've been
Because-
doing that since
yeah.
Oblivion.
Because
I've
Raider, if
never
you
seen
if you
that.
encountered Raiders, let's say you
I'll
were
have to
low,
go back and take a look
if
at
you
that.
were a low level and you encountered Raiders, you have the standard Raiders, then it were Raider Psycho,
Yep.
Raider Veteran, Raider. There's something, and then
They
there was
go up
Raider
in tier because they have
Survivors.
better,
But there's also,
because they have better gear on them
I-
and more
I
health
do
and more
know-
damage.
Yeah,
I do know that you will run across a roaming band that sometimes are higher level, but for the most part,
okay.
before,
Which game are you talking about?
Fallout 4.
Okay.
But for the most part, they were still low level as you got down like to Lexington and Concord.
Yeah, because again, it's only
It was still somewhat
it's
lower.
Only, it's only
But
level,
then
It's only leveled until you get to the city.
But-
After that, it doesn't matter. It's based off of your level.
Well, I haven't experienced it.
You also haven't played 4, and
I have
He
to.
has, but he's just been doing the mods. With
Yeah, I've just been
building
doing
the
mods.
settlement. That's my point. Is the last time you played it through normally?
That would have been just before I picked up the mods, about a month or two
And what
ago.
level did you get to?
What level did I get to?
Yes.
I think I ended it at right around 75.
So again,
but
you've
no,
gotten towards,
you haven't played without mods on Fallout.
Yes, I have.
Not for a while.
Yeah, it's
Because
been about
ever since
about a month.
Ever since they came on mods on PlayStation, I've always seen you playing mods on PlayStation.
on PlayStation.
Yes.
No, on Xbox.
But they've been on PlayStation too because you were asking me about it.
I was
when it first
asking, but
came
I
out.
never. Because you have to remember, for the longest time, I would not go back to 4. When 76 dropped, I wouldn't go back to 4 because for me, that was looking backwards. That wasn't looking forward. And on top of that, I was doing a lot with my internal crew, and we were doing a lot on 76. When I went to the Xbox and started doing the mods, because the way I seen it was, I've already beat the game.
Yeah, I can't. I've beaten the game in
I've
multiple.
beaten it.
I've beaten Fallout 4 in multiple ways without
Yeah.
mods. I can't go back to playing Fallout 4 without mods,
Yeah. That's just the way it is.
especially with just
And that's just
So to explain the whole leveling system, the way that leveling works in 4 for enemies. When you start the game, there are different ranges for levels and areas. Like I said, they do that. Like Sanctuary, for example, is 1 to 9.
Yep.
In that range. So when you first enter that area, enemies are spawning in that area at that level. Once you get past that level cap, those enemies start to level with you. So if you ever go back, you will start to see those higher tiered enemies.
See, I've never seen that.
I've got the diagram.
I was going to say, there's a
Yeah.
whole
Yeah, I know.
diagram
I
for
see it
but
from
that is what it is. And if you haven't seen it, it's probably because you didn't read.
I've never
I'm not
seen
gonna lie
it.
to you. Depending on what difficulty you're playing on, it won't matter.
Or I had
If you're playing on normal, I'm not gonna lie to you. Fallout 4 is a joke. Even on hard, the only
Yeah,
way Fallout 4 is not a joke is on survival.
and
Because
that's
you can't save all the time.
Well, you know what?
That's crazy because I did a playthrough on survival with mods, and even then I was having a hard time.
But see, here's the other thing too is
Yeah,
Is-
it was great though. I
Yeah.
had fun with it.
because enemies do so much more damage that it's like you're dang near getting one shot all the time in
But-
survival.
at the
So,
same time,
yeah.
when you build up your settlement, you get your walls in place,
Mhm.
you get your defenses around. I know for me, because I started seeing this a little bit more after I came back to Fallout 4, is that sometimes the enemies gets inside of your defenses and starts raining havoc on your settlers.
Mhm.
So not every block or so, I'll put up 2 turrets that interlock. So if they come down, they got to contend with multiple
Well,
turrets.
this is also thinking about a vanilla game without any of the mods. That's difficult to do because of the
Not really.
build limit. Yeah, because you're taking
You
the
have-
function of defenses plus the agriculture.
The thing
and
is
everything like that.
the hard thing about Fallout 4, and this is why I always told you, you may have thought you weren't playing well without mods, but there were a couple mods I put on there for you for Better Life.
I played with 0 mods.
No, you did not.
If it was on
Because
the Xbox, you probably didn't because remember.
No,
No,
Xbox,
on
no.
PlayStation,
No,
yes.
absolutely not.
I
Don't even
put
go
on-
there.
I put on the build
Nope.
limit. I took off the build limit. I put that mod on for you because you were always complaining about running out of space on your build limit. And
And I always
you-
did.
After I put that build limit on, that took away the build limit on for you, you were able to build the mega metropolises that you loved making in Fallout 4.
I played with 0 mods. 0. And
I
I'll
guarantee
go
you-
back and I'll take a look at that because we're going to get off this topic. But I'm telling you now, I played with no mods when I was going through it.
When you first originally played it, I believe you, yes.
Yeah, when I first went through,
Well,
I played with no mods at all.
The thing is mods,
Any playbacks, I would have played with something. I would have
your
turned
first-
down something.
Your first playthroughs, no, you couldn't have played with mods because during that time we were playing on PlayStation. PlayStation did not have a port for mods. It wasn't until I want to say 2018, 2019 they put a port in for PlayStation.
I'm going to tell you right now, if it was that late and 76 was out,
2016. Sorry.
Or 2016.
okay, I can kind of see that. But if 76 would have came out, I dropped for like a sack of potatoes because in my head, and maybe this was too much trust on my end,
Yeah.
I trusted Bethesda to actually fix 76 and make it a game. And
The amount of times that I heard
I
that
was
they were
excited.
about to pull the plug on that game,
yeah,
I was. See, the thing is, though,
insane.
with the release of 4, I'm like, 4 has its issues, right? We can get into it, and 4 will have
Oh,
its own
yeah.
issues.
yeah,
But in terms of a Fallout game, it's decent. It's good.
yeah, it's
It needed
decent.
work. 76 in my eyes, I was like, okay, they haven't really fucked up a Fallout. Like,
Oh,
it's
they
been-
did that one.
No. They did, and they had. Well, now they have. But with 3 and then 4, I was like, okay, I can trust them to make a good game. That's not 76. I'm actually kind of excited. We will see how they do it.
Well,
And then it launched, and I was like, oh, dear Lord, Bethesda, I am never trusting you ever again.
that's because a lot of people were excited at the fact that they were going to have an MMO version of Fallout. That's what everybody was
I just
excited
want
about.
a co-op.
Yeah,
Make a Fallout story
It
and
was
let you
so
play with your
great.
buddies. That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
it was like, and this is where I was excited for Fallout because I thought it was going to be like it was with Far Cry, the Far Cry co-op.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be Far Cry co-op, but on Fallout,
Mm-hmm.
where you can play single player and do the story that way, but you could also bring a buddy in and you guys could play the story together. That's what I would really.
I'm kind of hoping that's the way 5 turns out to be.
I'm gonna be honest with you. At this point in time, they need to put the option in there because single player, it's fun, but being able to experience the story with another friend or buddy or anything like that, going through it adds another level of fun and creativity that can come out of it. Because people can play and be creative by themselves, but when they're able to play off of another person, they can take it so much further. Like if they did the basement, it's like, oh, hey, look, I added this little porch on here that has a mindset into it. Like, why is that? Well, because the AI works weird in this way, and sometimes they'll try to sit down and blow up or whatever.
Imagine if Fallout 4 had that co-op version. Imagine trying to get through the Museum of Witchcraft as a co-op. You're low level and you accidentally stumble upon the Museum of Witchcraft. You go inside and you're met with the Savage Deathclaw. I remember doing that for the first time, and I was so afraid because the worst part about it is when you went through the basement locked behind you.
Yeah.
So there was no escaping once you were in.
Fallout 76 had so much potential.
And they didn't go anywhere with it.
No.
And that's the
game's
sad
boring.
part about it.
The game is beyond boring. And the reason why it's beyond boring is because even when you brought out NPCs, they still kept robots as the shopkeepers at the train stations.
And I'm fine with that because those train stations.
I'm not.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not. Those train stations are out in the wild.
They were
You're right, they are.
They were very irrelevant until they started. Because this is the other thing I hated about Fallout 76. You had to pay caps to fast travel.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they added a system to where you had to fast travel to the train stations for free. That's the only reason those train stations were relevant is because you could fast travel to those train stations for free.
Now, here's the other thing is the economy was garbage.
It's
Well,
still,
it still is, but
you cannot sell bullets to the NPC.
not
traders.
only that,
You can there are certain things you cannot sell to the
it's
NPC
not only
traders.
okay. I don't care about all that because I can just drop that anywhere. And granted, I'm losing caps by dropping it, but if they're not going to take it, they ain't going to take it.
Did you just say granite?
Yeah.
Granted.
Who cares? Anyways, don't correct me. Anyways, as I was saying, I will turn around and say goodest if I want to. But anyways, you go in there to sell something and they put you on a cap on how much you can have.
Yeah.
And you go from one train station to the other and the train station is empty on caps.
Oh yeah,
But yet-
I forgot.
But yet
about
you're
that.
buying things from them. So where the hell are those damn caps going?
Yeah, you had it was what? Was it a weekly or was it a daily sell limit?
I believe it was a daily.
because you had 1,400 caps per
Yes.
day or per week to
Yes.
sell to. And then after that, you started squirreling it because you're like, well, I can't take it to the trader to sell.
Well, you know what that was? You know what they did there? And it's absolutely brilliant on their part. That's how they sold Fallout first.
Yeah.
No,
Brilliant on their part.
No, yes.
yeah.
Unlimited storage space.
Unlimited storage space. Because
Unlimited storage space,
Scrap box.
scrap box, personal world.
Yep.
and maybe because of
Survival tent's nice too.
yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was nice.
That was nice.
But at the same
Gives you
time,
3 camps.
maybe
Mhm.
it was because they couldn't fix the economy.
They could. They can't.
Now, I know they could.
Well, I
Easily.
understand the other reason why they allowed so much selling at a certain time because you had people that probably would have gouged and sold everything, and that would have inflated.
But you
the
have a
market.
caps limit. You can't go over a certain amount of caps. You cannot be a billionaire in that game with caps. So eventually, you're going to have to sell. You're going to have to use those caps on something.
Yeah.
So the thing is, though, there's
There's a
Next
give and
to-
take.
there's next to nothing that you can buy with caps unless it's from other players that really matters.
And even then, I remember there was certain things I was looking for, or even then when you were selling mutations, it was
Oh, it was ridiculous.
gouging.
And now it's so easy to get those mutations. People are selling for like, yeah, here's 100 caps. For
Yeah.
you know.
Or actually, it's less than that. When I left the game, there were only like 50 caps. And when at the beginning, and they were capping your mutations. So like I had that stupid jump. Oh yeah, I had that stupid jump one where you could jump like 6 stories up.
marsupial. Yeah.
Yeah, marsupial. It would only last for like a day, and then
Oh,
it'd be done. Unlike when we did it, and I really need to go on.
Then they became permanent. They
Yeah.
didn't change that.
Yeah, no longer
They
permanent.
were not
They're
always
no
permanent.
they're no longer permanent.
Nope.
Really?
Yep.
That's.
At least it wasn't when I stopped playing.
I was
That's
thinking
when I
about saying
finally-
that
He's saying before when it first came out.
because
They
I played it.
weren't
Like, I played
permanent.
76 like 3 weeks ago, and I still had all my.
No, he's
mutations.
saying in the beginning they were not permanent.
No, they were. They were, and maybe they grandfathered the players who got them that was permanent.
Because I never lost.
I still have my.
I know what I'm saying
Mutations.
is you might have beat whatever timeline they had
Mhm.
because that's one of the
When was the
biggest
last time you
complaints. Me? Oh, it's been before. Probably 21.
Yeah, so
But I'm
last
still
time,
talking to Gonzo,
the
and
last
Gonzo.
time we played it was like 22,
Last time I played
And
it was
we-
3 weeks
he-
ago.
and he's played it sooner since then.
Okay, you're not hearing what I'm saying. If he beat the timeline and he is grandfathered in, from what I'm hearing, they have a grandfather area where
How about we just look?
yeah,
it up?
look it up.
I'm just confused on your timeline. What is the?
I don't know what the damn
Because
timeline
if
is.
you've played it,
I'm just telling you what was told to me.
but if you played it before we played it more recently, then that change. Then they obviously reverted the change. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Don't
Oh,
ask
I'm
me.
looking at it right now. Give me just a
Because I
second.
was like, I didn't think the mutations weren't always permanent.
Yeah, they were.
Mutations are a semi-permanent effect that both provides positive and negative effects.
Semi-permanent.
Yeah,
When I got mine, they were
Because-
permanent.
No, here's,
Unless you took Rad-X, and then it would.
yeah, that's
Awesome.
it's right here. It says if you take Radaway removal and prevention every time a player uses Radaway diluted, or decontamination shower, there is a chance that a randomly selected mutation will be removed.
Oh, they went from Rad-X to Radaway. Because
No,
before it was
because
Rad-X.
Radix suppresses
two.
it.
Yeah.
Radix gives you resistance to rads.
And
Radaway
Radaway.
takes away rads.
Yeah.
Radaway,
It's
no,
always
no,
how it's.
hold on, because I see where you're screwing up on everything. Radaway suppresses the mutation. It doesn't take away the mutation. It suppresses it until the Radix wears away. Radaway takes away the mutation. However, if you had the starch genes,
Yep.
or if you had the starch genes
Perk.
in your luck category, you could take Radaway and you could take Radix, and it would not affect your mutations. The only way you lost your mutations is if you took Radaway without starch genes.
In the beginning, everything you're saying, completely true except for one spot. It was only Radix. It was not Radaway. Because there was plenty of times where myself and Ray would go into a radiation-filled area, and I would be pumping away at the Radaway, be just fine. The moment I touch Radix, done. It would suppress it or kill it.
Because I'm trying to see when was the last time this was. Because right here, it says right here.
I'm sure it does. I'm not.
Change log for the mutations. Patch 1.0.3.10 fixed the issue for herd mentality. 1.0.4.13 changed the strange in numbers perk. Okay, that's serum recipes.
Yep.
1.1.4.3 fixed the issue for class freak perk. The 1.1.4.3 fixed the grounded mutation, and the 1.2.2.9 fixed the chameleon mutation. There's nothing in here talking about the switch from Radaway to Radix.
Well, I'm telling you right now, and you could talk to Gonzo and you could talk to Ray, and they're both going to tell you the same thing I just got done telling you. I'm telling you. And I know for a fact Ray no longer plays Fallout. I do believe Gonzo is still playing. But we're going to go off that topic for just a second, because another boneheaded idea that Fallout had, to some respects, and in some respects, I think this was their answer to try and fix the economy, was when they gave you a vending machine at your camp.
Wasn't that base?
Huh?
Vending machine. Wasn't that base?
Oh, I see where everything with the serum. By consuming a mutation serum, the corresponding mutation will be applied to the player, and it's a negative effects will be nullified for 1 hour. If the player already had that mutation, then the negative effects of the mutation will be suppressed.
Yep.
So it was.
Radaway was not in the mix, at least not in the early days.
But it took away the negative
Radaway
effects.
did not.
No, what I'm saying is you were talking about how if you took a serum, it only lasted for so long and then it went away.
That's what I'm hearing it is doing now.
But that's what I'm reading right here.
I haven't played it, so I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. I'm just telling you what was told to me.
Because even on my new character that I made back in 23, I still have all my mutations.
Fireball.
He's not. So
you're getting hung up like I'm saying this is gospel.
Well,
I am telling you this is secondhand knowledge to me. Now, if it ain't right, then cool, it's not right. But this is secondhand knowledge that I'm just telling you. Oh. Now, if it's wrong, it's wrong.
They added more.
Probably.
They added more mutations from the last time we played.
Probably. Now, let's go to this vending machine thing.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe it was their.
Since the beginning, you can put up a vending machine, put what you want.
No, it came out in a patch.
It was
it came out in a patch.
Yeah, it came out in one, not a DLC, but yeah, you're right, a patch. You were able. That's how you were able to start selling stuff at your camp.
Yeah,
and it's garbage. Yeah. Oh, that's hot garbage, because
you were able to price your own stuff. And a lot of people priced it.
Overpriced it,
or very much so underpriced it, which was cool. But and then you had a lot of junk, like junk that should have been scrapped out to get the base materials to move on.
But not everybody has Fallout first, so they're not gonna waste space on that.
The other thing that I really thoroughly enjoyed about Fallout 76 when it came to you were talking about wanting to scrap stuff.
Yeah,
they brought in the showcase like bookshelves, gun racks.
Fallout 4 had it.
Yeah, but you had to have the DLC for it.
Okay. They still had it.
Again.
He's talking about ease of access to get these things.
I mean,
that matters to a lot of people. That does matter.
But then again, you couldn't show it off because you're in that game by yourself. Who are you going to show it off to?
What are you talking about?
For 4. Why would you have that stuff in your?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about 76. You're
No.
talking about 76 having.
He's
the
talking
boxes.
about 4. I'm talking about.
Come on, pay attention.
I'm going off of what you're talking about because his is irrelevant. I'm
Oh,
talking
good
about
Lord.
yours for
Right.
76 because that's what
So-
we're on right now.
I mean, you better put that away before you get hurt again.
Yeah,
We broke it.
you broke it.
I didn't break shit.
You were the one.
He's the one hit me with it.
But the thing is you could have the showcase stuff.
Yep.
And I had a couple cases there for like, accommodation metal just for shits and gigs.
Mhm.
I had a Wendigo Colossus, something that showed that I killed a Wendigo Colossus because that's one of the big bosses that's hard to kill. I had something for the Scorched Beast Queen. I had stuff there showing that I was able to kill these things.
Mhm.
So that was really cool to be able to show off. And you were talking about, just scrap it. There's no reason to scrap that kind of stuff if you've.
But if you've already got it.
I wasn't talking about that.
talking
I'm
about-
talking about the junk,
People selling bottles. People selling.
like a pipe pistol.
Yeah, the junk.
Yeah.
Who the hell wants a pipe pistol?
I do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, maybe I do. You don't know that.
Take your ass down to the lumber.
I can't.
Why not?
Your camp's closer. I'm just devil's advocate for the reason.
Yeah, there's no devil's advocate.
But
there.
also-
That makes zero sense to do.
It makes perfect sense. People
No.
get into a role-playing game, they play the role. They're playing the role of somebody who has a disposable income to just go
Jump
over to
trader.
somebody's. Yep, they're American pickers, dude. You know, they're gonna.
I
You never know what you're gonna
I
find.
remember one time going to somebody's camp because I was just curious and I wanted to see what they were selling.
Yeah.
I went to somebody's camp and they were selling some 3-star, very highly great weapon. They were selling it for 25,000 caps.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh
No.
my God, who has the money to
Well,
buy that?
also,
On top of that, the game took like a 10% cut off
Yeah,
all sales.
that was the other bullshit part. Take a 10% cut off of my shop. What the fuck?
See the issue.
Like,
with
where's all these caps going?
nowhere.
Because it ain't going back to the train stations.
The thing is, they don't. The economy they made piss poor. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yep.
You can look at every other MMO that's out that has an actual player brand economy, like Final Fantasy 14. Wow, these economies are actually running better than some other countries' economies.
Yeah.
Like WoW's in-game currency, the gold that they have, is worth more than the Venezuelan dollar.
Oh yeah.
It
Ain't wrong.
is,
Yeah.
Ain't wrong.
which is crazy.
But the cap ain't worth shit.
The thing is, when you look at other games and their economies and how they function, players can make these items for people. They can sell these. They can mark it up if they want to, or sell it for just a little under and still undercut other
Yep.
people. You have that in all the other MMOs. Why not in Fallout 4
I mean, 76.
or 76?
But
yeah.
the thing is, I think the big problem they have with their economy is their economy is server based. What you're talking about with Final Fantasy and what you're talking about with WoW is, I would say no, not even that, because I remember playing WoW when I was younger. You could go into an auction house, you could go into a barter or a bazaar or whatever. You could buy these things because it was worldwide. It wasn't just set to a specific server. When you go into Fallout 76, the economy is set to a specific server.
And that's their issue. They should have done made it an actual MMO then,
Mm-hmm.
and did data centers, which every other MMO does.
Yep.
You have your servers that they're based off of within those data centers, but those data centers cover portions of the globe, and you can move between the data centers.
And I want to correct Fireball real quick. For WoW, every city kind of had their own independent economy. So Stormfall, for instance,
Stormwind.
Stormwind, Stormfall. When you go into one of their shops and you go to get something, you would look at the price and then you would fly off to Ironforge to go see what the price was there.
Yeah.
You didn't
Didn't have to what?
have to fly to Ironforge.
The hell you didn't.
No, you didn't. There was a train.
You could have used that too, but if you flew, it was much better than the train.
I loved taking the train. The train was fun.
But either
I
way,
can't tell
you
how
had to
many
go to
times I fell
certain
off the train
places.
too and had to run.
If you wanted to go get a spell or learn a spell, if you were a mage or whatever,
Mhm.
you didn't go to Stormwind. You didn't go to Ironforge.
You went to Darnassus.
Was that the one, the floating city?
That's Dalaran.
Yeah. You went there. If you were a warrior and you want a new armor, you didn't go to Stormwind.
You went to Ironforge.
You went to Ironforge. Fallout 76 had so much that it could have done, and not so much worldwide. Because let's be honest, every server is different. Even on WoW, it was different.
I'm gonna go to the old head who played this game religiously for years. Do you think Destiny 2 could have had that same system? Really?
Had the same system as an MMO?
Had the same
true-
economy system as these other MMOs.
It could have, if they made the game that way. That's hypotheticals that like if it's made a certain way, it can do that. So because Destiny is the game that it is, it's a RPG looter shooter.
MMO.
Yeah.
There's no
There is a yeah, because MMO means massive multiplayer online. You at most times in Destiny will only be around, and if you're not in a social space, you'll only be around like maybe
8 people.
5 to 8 other Guardians.
So the economy was garbage in Fallout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And going back, and I just thought about this, going back to what you said about the NPCs not being in the train stations, there's plenty enough space in there to where they could have had a living space. Because those train stations were never attacked.
But that's the other thing is that's part of the lore of Fallout 76. When the plague, or what was that?
Scorch Plague?
The Scorch Plague took over Appalachia.
Uh-huh.
They programmed those robots to keep the traders open because a lot of the humans were infected by by the plague and was dying.
Okay.
So there's a lore reason for the robots to still be there.
Okay. But at the same time, if Appalachia is booming again with humans, it's human nature to take that back over from the robots.
If that's
Hold on,
where...
I'm gonna put some real life into this.
I just did.
Why would you want, if you have a robot that can do your job for easier and cheaper and don't have to actually require the necessities a human does, why would you want to do that?
I'll counter.
Go ahead.
Look at the mines in Fallout 76.
The mines?
Yeah.
Are we talking explosive mines?
No. I'm talking the coal mines.
Okay.
When you go through, you see all these signs for humans to do the work instead of robots.
That's for an actual job, though.
Again,
if there are robots there to do that job specifically, we would use them.
But
where are the mining robots?
Here's the other thing you have to look at if you're wanting to talk about the coal mines. If robots were taking over the mines, there'd be no reason for the excavator power armor that we have in 76.
All you got to do is go to the damn mine, and all the protest stuff is there.
So you're bringing up, so in terms of that,
and yes, I realize
specifically talking about the railroad robot workers for that train station. Looking at it from a lore perspective, who's going to mess with them? They are neutral. Humans are not neutral.
No, not at all.
So it would make the most sense to have neutral ground in a hotly disputed area like Appalachia with the Foundation, the Crater, the Brotherhood of Steel that's now there.
Yep.
Neutral territory.
The Enclave, because you got the
Enclave remnants.
Yep. I'm just saying. I think they dropped the ball with that.
I think you're hung up on that a little too much because that's not even dropping the ball. That's
because the economy is just shit.
In my eyes, that's just that's whatever. I don't care about the robots.
Because to get NPCs, you had to go down to the settlement or up to the crater. The Brotherhood of Steel was starting to take over an area.
Yeah, they have their
when I dropped the game.
But the thing is canonically, and this is where I think Bethesda had a little bit struggling trying to put a foothold on 76. Canonically, Fallout 76 is the first events of Fallout.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's
10 years, 20 years, just after?
Something like that.
Yeah,
because
like right after.
The bombs drop in 2077.
Yeah.
And I forget how...
You got a computer right
I forget how long.
Got a computer, I'm just saying.
I forget how long it took for the events of 76 to take place. Because for a while, though, I thought I heard, and this is just speculation, I thought I heard that they were going to be retconning 76.
And they should. I'm not going to lie to you. They should.
You would what?
They should retcon it.
Retcon.
Yeah.
Make it not a part of the lore.
Make it not a part of the lore.
Oh,
There's a lot that just does not make sense. There's too many holes everywhere.
yeah.
There's too many plot holes. Because 2077.
You leave it to Howard. He ain't gonna do it.
Bombs dropped 2077. I think it was 2082 was the foundation of the Brotherhood of Steel. Enclave installation at the White Springs Bunker was 83. Herbert's Ferry.
And White Springs has now completely changed too.
Oh yeah.
Which is fine. I kind of saw that one coming because you had all those cabins out there, and the only thing that sucked about it, from what I'm hearing now, is you can't nuke it.
Nope.
No.
And that's horrible. That was the best place to nuke. I see green people. Famous line.
Fallout 76 takes place 25 years after the Great War.
25 years. So, okay.
21, I want to say 2101
Mm-hmm.
is when it takes place. 2102.
Why don't you just look at it? I mean, it's going to tell you when.
Yep, 2102.
2102, October 23rd.
Yeah, so 25 years after. So, and that's the other thing is when Fallout 76 originally came out, it was Reclamation Day.
Yep.
That
Going
was
out and reclaiming the land.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can understand why there weren't NPCs to begin with in the game.
Yeah, I can
but
understand
they
that
should
too.
not have waited so long to add NPCs.
Well, I'm saying this now. If there are people alive elsewhere and they're already exploring,
It's kind of moot.
they should be there already.
Or the fact that there were already settlers in Appalachia, but again, the Scorched Plague.
Yeah, and that's fine because that could have been a dual purpose thing. People are dying to the Scorched Plague. You have NPCs who are currently starting to get infected and dying from it. And you're coming up now to the middle of this trying to solve it for them before it's
Yeah, but your first destination when leaving leaving Vault 76 was go to Flatwoods.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they could have started with NPCs there. Like you said, people were dying of the Scorched Plague. There are a couple there. That's how you could start the storyline to.
They could have even said, yeah, they could. The story could have even been, these guys left a vault before you did.
Yeah.
And, you're one of the last ones to leave.
You're one of the last ones to leave.
Whether it be because you're worried or because you have the choice to stay in 76
or they're
go
just
out.
trying to stagger people coming out. Whatever. Yeah.
And then when you really blast Appalachia with all the other NPCs, it would have made a lot of sense for them to have another vault to open, like the quest line bringing you up to it, and then cinematically have that door open, and here comes these other settlers.
There are what?
And then out they go.
4 or 5 vaults in 76?
5, I believe.
Because you've
51.
got 76, 51, 93, 63.
And there's one more.
And then the one that's got the whole gold reserve in it.
There's another one too. I
So
believe.
6.
So there's 6?
I believe so. I think you have 2 in the south.
You've got 63.
That's down south.
Because that's in the ash heap.
Yep.
You've got 51, which is in the top left.
Yep.
You've got 93, which is in the top right.
Yep.
You got 76 in the middle.
Yep.
You've got White Springs Bunker.
Yes. Yeah.
So
that's
that's
the one.
6.
Yeah.
There's 7.
Yep.
There's 7?
I knew there was another.
76, 63, 51, 79, 94, 96. Oh, there's more than.
And then the White Springs Bunker. Because the White Springs Bunker didn't have a number.
The V2U vault training vault is also considered a vault.
Oh, Vault Tech University.
Yep.
Honestly, it's kind of insane.
But that goes back to my point before. If you have a certain amount of vaults out there that you have in canon now, and I realize they can pull the trigger and make more canon.
They could.
I got that.
You know what the show, they could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me going on
But
that.
the thing is, the show really
It brings it all together.
It brings it all together, yeah. Because in the show, we realized that it wasn't we figured out who dropped the bombs.
It was Voltec.
It was Voltec.
Voltec started the war.
And it was so, like, I understand you don't like the TV show.
And just for those people who have played Fallout and our understanding of the theories and everything that were going into the show, anybody remember the theory about the Voltec symbol on the bomb in Megaton?
It makes sense.
It makes sense. It's been there. They've been wanting to probably bring this out for a while, and the show was the best way for them to do it in this format, and we got to it.
Shout out to seeing Mr. House and the
Shout out to Mr. House not being in a incubation tube. By the way, I killed him with a golf club. Anyway, in Fallout New Vegas.
He was already a vegetable. I just turned him into mashed potatoes.
Exactly. But so yeah. As we start rounding up our conversation here for now, because I know I see him, he's getting tired. He might need to get a cup of coffee in him, even though it's as late as it is.
Yeah.
But I'm going to lead us into our Shire thoughts. Fireball, if you want to start us out with that.
Shire thoughts. All right. Well, beginning today, right after the stream again, I'm going to be doing another stream. We're going to be going for another camo grind for Nebula on Black Ops 6. And Godfather will probably be joining me, but we'll have to see what's going on with that. My ending thoughts for the podcast today. There's a lot to cover with Fallout. We just got into the game. We haven't even gotten into the lore.
A little bit to the lore, but
yeah.
A lot. Yeah.
But that's all I got to say. Stay tuned because me and Chungus might be having our own episodes coming shortly, talking about the games we've played together without Godfather.
Yeah. So, I mean...
Yeah, there's quite a few games you two play that I have no interest in.
Yeah, there's
There's a lot of
games like that.
Yeah. Yeah, if you've been tuning in to Talking Tuesdays or Thirsty Thursday, you will know that there's a lot of games that I'll tell you that I'm just going to skip. I'm just going to kind of touch the surface and go again because these two want to talk about it with me. There's games that I play these two can't stand, and I can talk all day about them. So,
Name one.
Huh?
Name one.
Oh,
Madden.
yeah, Madden's one.
That's you. That's you. And I know why.
Have I seen you pick up a controller and play Madden?
Yes.
When?
Yeah,
With him. That last time I played was with him.
Oh.
And it wasn't any of the new ones that have been.
You won't touch any of the racing games either.
No, I don't like racing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so-
That's
there you
different
go.
because why would I want to sit there and pretend to race a race car when I could just wait for you to get there and just, hey, let me borrow that race car for a second, and then
Oh, okay.
FIA will find us.
So-
For money.
All right.
So yeah,
That
my
man
Shire
arrested.
thoughts.
Does it?
Oh,
okay.
I will be streaming Monday. I will be doing some Arma, as I've stated before. Arma is always nice. Monday, Thursdays, sometimes Sundays. But
All the time, Sunday.
no, I'm talking about in terms of streaming it.
Oh,
Sometimes. But with that being said, my thoughts on this episode, phenomenal. I adore you for...
don't even say it. Don't even say it.
Come on, I want to know what you were going to say.
No. Well, let's move on. So, going to my final thoughts. Going to my thoughts on the Shire.
Yes, guys.
Okay. Okay. We'll continue to do that. So, Tuesday and Thursday, you got Talking Tuesday coming at you. You got Thirsty Thursday. You got the Nomad Gamers, these two clowns. They'll be back with me on Wednesday when we or actually it'll be
Wednesday.
no, it'll be Saturday.
Wednesday.
Saturday.
Wednesday.
Wednesdays and Saturdays. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Wednesdays and Saturdays, jackass.
Wednesday. 'Cause-
we'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Today's Wednesday.
I know. I'm going a week out. You guys are starting.
So would it not be the same schedule?
You're
Wednesday
killing me.
and Saturday?
I see these two killing me.
What do you mean? He doesn't know how to count.
Yeah, whatever. So, anyways, back to what I was saying before.
It's the geriatric
So,
in him. He doesn't
shut
know
up.
what day it is.
So, on the days when I am not doing Talking Tuesday or Thirsty Thursday, I will be streaming at you. All of our streams will be dumped into the Nomad Gamers page. That way, it's one location where y'all can see it. But if you can't get to that page, go over to Godfather's page for all my streaming. Go to Chiser Kungus for all of his.
Chiser Chunkungus.
Chiser. I'm not even going to try it anymore.
Oh my goodness.
And then you go over to Quincy and let Quincy quench your thirst for anything else.
All right, Milk Dud, calm down.
Oh, here we go. See, I had some caffeine. I'm starting to wake back up. So with that, Godfather's out.
Fireball out.
Chiser Chungus out.
About time you went with that.